Right at a year ago, I made a video, posted a video about my bump in the night kit. And what you see here is the current iteration of that kit. And basically I talked about having something to go out the door with, along with your favorite response weapon, should you hear a bump in the night. And since I made that video, this has gone through a couple changes, and it currently stands as you see now. And the reason I'm revisiting this is about a month ago, I had called to use this. Scout started just really barking strange about 12:45 at night. And you know, if you're a dog owner, you know that you learn your dog's barks. And this wasn't a possum bark or a raccoon bark. This was a I'm scared, I'm perplexed, something's bothering me bark. So I jumped up and I threw this on along with the 45 that you see there. And I went out in that. And spent probably the next 30-40 minutes out there. And what had occurred, it was one of those strange nights where sound traveled. And it turned out there were some people at a house probably over a quarter of a mile away, across a canal in a backyard, and they were talking. And they weren't talking really low, but they weren't yelling. And I know this because I did some sleuthing and got close enough that I could see where they were. But they were not close to us at all. But because of the atmospherics that night, you could understand what they were saying. And that's what had Scout upset, is she could hear these people talking and couldn't figure out where they were or where it was coming from. And I agreed with her. Once I got out there, it was strange. And the reason I did my sleuthing is I had to figure out where they were, and they were pretty darn far away. They were not my nearest neighbors at all. So there was no danger, stand down and all that neat stuff. But the point was that in the 30 or so minutes it took me to actually kind of sneak my way close enough to them to figure out where they were, wearing this belt, and of course my sidearm was holstered. This thing started weighing me down. I think one of the comments in my original video a year ago was, you know, I wonder if you're going to need suspenders for that. And I am trying to avoid a whole suspender kind of thing because this is a bump in the night, grab it and go kind of kit. And it was weighing me down without suspenders. It was pulling off of me. I just don't have enough ass. So that caused me to want to revisit this. Then something else happened. My mom was in the hospital, and I spent about 5 days up there. And I grabbed this little sling bag to take up there with me every day. Now, I have never worn, much less owned, a sling bag before. I got this just recently at the thrift store with the intention of making a little go bag for a family member. Frankly, I had just kind of looked down my nose at sling bags. But I got to tell you, after 5 days of using it every day at the hospital, I liked it. And that got me thinking, perhaps a sling bag is what needs to replace the battle belt. So I jumped on Amazon, as is my wont, and I looked at sling bags. And I thought they all seemed too big for what I wanted. So I ordered this little thing, and it was cheap, like 12 bucks. And came in today, and at first I thought, uh-oh, this is too small. Too big, too small. But the more I look at it, and the more I think about it, I think it's going to be just what I wanted. You know, when we talk about bug out bags, I have said in the past, and I believe this, you get your gear, you get what needs to go in the bag, and then you tailor make the bag to the gear. Because if you get too big a bag, it is human nature, you will fill that bag. And I feel the same way about this. I feel like if I got a bigger bag, I would end up filling it. This way, with such a small sling bag, I think I will not be tempted to try to put too much on it. And I think that this will be just as easy, if not easier, to grab and go with as a battle belt. And I can wear it around my my shoulder, and it's not going to slip off after 30 minutes of crawling around trying to sneak up on neighbors. And I think it's going to fit the purpose. So what I've decided to do is make several iterations of this bump in the night bag, depending on what weapon system we were looking at using. This is the first one. This is my M4 AR-15 iteration. So I've got these taco pouches on either side. That gives me 2 mags on the outside, in addition to the one that would already be in the weapon. This outside pocket has 2 TK4 tourniquets, so they're fairly close at hand, 1 zipper. This would be this next pouch would be in my light pouch. There's my Surefire. And then the big pouch, which kind of would be the last pouch you would want to get into, has a 3rd magazine, and then just some medical gear, gauze and scissors and stuff like that. And I tell you, already I'm seeing that I've got more room, even in this tiny bag, than I need. And then what I've done is I've stuck my pig sticker up here at the top, just because it seemed to work real well there. And so that's not real heavy. It's got plenty of gear, and that would be really good for going out with an AR for a bump in the night. All right, let's see what else we can do. All right, in this version, I've totally changed it up. On the sides, on each side, I have a mag pouch with an extra magazine, and then I have put the handgun into the main pouch. And the way I did that is there's a pocket in here, and I stole the Velcro holster off of one of those fanny packs. I got a Bianchi fanny pack. Let me see if I can show it to you there. And I stole the holster off the fanny pack, and I Velcroed that in there. So now, if you can see that, the handgun has a little slot to go into, and it rides okay. I probably need, if I went with this iteration, I probably would pad the bottom so you don't get the clunk when it hits bottom. But it goes in there all right. And then this little strap just for an extra retention, and it Velcros up. And then I've got my light in the other pocket. So basically, handgun and light, the 2 things you're going to go for as you head out the door. And as I said, extra magazines on the side. This time I've put all the med stuff, gauze, tourniquets, in the outside pouch. The idea being there is, unless you need it, that pouch will never get open. And just for fun, I threw a Leatherman on the outside, and that's always good for the knife, and also for the ability to, I don't know, cut a piece of wire or something like that. So that's the handgun version. All right, the last version I'm going to do today is the shotgun version. And what I've done is I've mounted a shotgun holder back here, and then Velcroed a shotgun card up here onto that Velcro patch. Put a big pouch on for my Surefire, and then a pouch for my, I upped the game on the Leatherman and put the Super Tool on. This time this pouch is empty except for my pig sticker, and the big pouch is all med gear. And that's a pretty good, I think, shotgun iteration. So you've seen several iterations or versions of what you might do with a tactical sling bag for a bump in the night bag. And I think that we're onto something here. Now, I've played around with this some more, and this is what I finally decided to go with for now. And it's set for the shotgun mode, but I kept a AR-15 taco in here just in case I want to switch over. Put a headlamp in there because who knows, you may end up needing your hands and you still want to have a light. So it's an idea that is worth checking out. You can have your weapon and still get to your gear. You can throw it out of the way and be able to maneuver, do whatever you got to do. This one here, I weighed it, and it's got all the stuff in it: shotgun shells, plenty of med gear, and plenty of room to stick a cell phone. And this thing weighed 3 pounds. So I think we're onto something here. I really do. For a grab and go, bump in the night response kit, I think a sling bag might be the way to go. Thanks for watching.